What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video, and I'm so incredibly excited because there are huge reports coming from Spain and France that Liverpool could actually sign Kylian Mbappe thanks to the Nike deal that Liverpool signed, of course, at the beginning of this season, because every Liverpool shirt that Liverpool sell, 20% of the sale of the price goes back to the club. So and I will tell you guys all the details about that. And also the IS is reporting that Liverpool are one of the front runners to sign Mbappe next summer. Mbappe is definitely leaving PSG at the end of the season because he still hasn't signed the contract. That if Paris Saint-Germain don't want to lose Mbappe for nothing, they have to sell him this summer. But first I want to update you guys on the Aston Villa Liverpool FA Cup tie tonight. So because 10 players tested positive for Rona from the Aston Villa players and also 4 members of staff, the whole first team is in quarantine. So the whole first team of Aston Villa can't play for 10 days. Their whole staff, even the manager Dean Smith, is in quarantine. So the under-23s will play Liverpool, and I think it's still a risk because yes, testing is pretty good, and the under-23s got tested I think yesterday or today this morning. Only the players who test negative from the under-23s and under-18s are eligible to play Liverpool. I'm not sure how safe it is, but the game is going ahead, and I want Liverpool to field a fairly strong side because the Man United game is 9 days away from this one. So we don't have any reason to rest too many players, and I really want Liverpool to smash Aston Villa because last season Liverpool lost, the under-23s lost to Aston Villa 5-0 in a reversal of this situation, and the Aston Villa players celebrated like crazy, like they won the Premier League or something. So first let's talk about the IS report which says that Liverpool are reportedly preparing to tempt Kylian Mbappe over to Anfield with a complete package. They want to seduce him. This is what the report says. Spotlights of the Premier League, a competition that Mbappe loves, a club with a history of past and present successes, and it also goes hand in hand. In the most purely lucrative businesses, Nike would be his Celestina, as you like, if you like. This is where the potential of Mbappe comes in. An athlete sponsored by Nike who has just joined forces with another star of the house, LeBron James, in turn a minority shareholder of Liverpool. So fill in the blanks. In economic and sporting terms, Liverpool is in a real position to fight any signing. This is what an expert in international transactions tells IS off the record. Liverpool are offering Mbappe the complete package to seduce him. So this last quote means that Liverpool are will be in a financial position this summer to compete with Real Madrid for the signing of Mbappe, and I honestly believe it because the fact that Nike is now our sponsor, and also Mbappe is one of the ambassadors for Nike, and LeBron James is also a Nike athlete now who has a stake in Liverpool FC. He's a shareholder. There is a lot of possibilities here that can happen. So if and when Liverpool sign Mbappe, then let's play this scenario out. So Mbappe arrives and the global merchandise goes through the roof. Liverpool will sell millions of Mbappe shirts in the 5 years or even more if Mbappe is at Liverpool. And if Liverpool sold 1 million Mbappe shirts at, for example, at £75 per shirt, 20% of that price goes back to the club. So if Liverpool sell 1 million Mbappe shirts, then that would equate to £15 million, which could pay Mbappe's salary for 1 year, for example. So in 5 years, Liverpool could recuperate half of his transfer fee, for example, or something like that. we could actually get like 60-70 million from just selling Mbappe shirts across the globe, which is, I think, a very, very good incentive for Nike as well. I want to tell you guys what the report says from IS. They are saying that not long ago, the great rival in the transfer market for Real Madrid was Barcelona, Manchester United, Man City and Paris Saint-Germain more recently. This summer it will be Liverpool. So with Nike, this multi-year agreement, Liverpool will receive a fixed 35 million euro and the rest in bonuses, including the best of the lot, 20% of the profits from each shirt sold. That is where the potential of Mbappe comes in, an athlete sponsored by Nike and who has just joined forces with another star of Nike, LeBron James. In their new contract with Nike, Liverpool receives 20% of every jersey sold. So Mbappe, the report says, would pay for itself, which is a little bit of an exaggeration, but you get where they are coming from. And Mbappe is a big fan of Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp and the style of football that they play, and according to IS, Jurgen Klopp would bring the best of football out of Mbappe. And I honestly think that Liverpool should try everything in their powers to bring Mbappe to Anfield, but not at the expense of Salah. Even though I really think that Salah doesn't want to leave Liverpool, maybe if he changes his mind, then the only way I can see Liverpool selling Salah, if Salah actually puts in a transfer request or kicks up a big fuss, which I don't believe that he would do. But who knows, stranger things have happened in football. I never thought Torres would ask to leave Liverpool, and he did. He was one of my heroes growing up as a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't sell Salah if I was Liverpool, if I was Jurgen Klopp, but as I said, if Salah wants to go, maybe we will sell him and replace him with Mbappe. Unless we sell a big superstar, I don't see Liverpool being financially able to afford Mbappe. But as we said, this Nike deal actually makes it easier, makes it more likely. So I want to hear your opinion. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments below. And Jurgen Klopp actually spoke about Liverpool's transfer strategy in the January transfer market, and he actually defended the owners. This is what he said: in good times, everybody thinks our owners are really generous. What big signings or whatever. And in bad times, everybody thinks they are really tight. Maybe that they are from a different country or whatever. But they are not. They are absolutely concerned about the club, the success of the club, and understand how we have it. So they see exactly the same things I see about the necessity to bring in players and things like this. And it is not that I say, by the way, a centre half would be really nice, and they say, wow, a centre half, really? Why? It is not like this. It is all clear. It is all on the table. But it is the situation right now. We have Van Dijk and Gomez injured, and on top of that we have January, and it is not the easiest transfer window. On top of that, it is not having the money exactly as you want. Other clubs say, no, we don't have money, but we don't need it as well. We are clear, we have enough to survive. My job is there something we can do to improve our situation? Yes, that is clear. I am a football supporter as well, and I am not employed here as a supporter. I am employed here as a manager. A supporter may look at it and think they need a centre half, and other team has a good one, so bring him in. I understand that, but my job is not that. My job is to make the players we have here as strong as possible to deal with it. And again, would one centre half help and sort all our problems? Maybe for a game or two, but then he could be injured as well. We don't know. We have to work together, and we did that so far. It is the trickiest situation you can imagine. 3 senior centre backs and they are all injured. That doesn't happen a lot, but it happens, so we have to deal with it. We cannot sort it now in the transfer market. The club tries what it can, but if they can't, then we have to do what we did so far. Get stronger as a group, stick together, fight against the world if you want, fight against the circumstances, strike back with all you have and make it the most special season ever. So I think, reading between the lines, Jurgen Klopp actually wants to sign a centre-back, but it looks like that the money is not really there right now. The owners don't really want to open the purse strings. They are being cautious, and there is an argument that yes, if Liverpool sign a centre-back, what happens when Gomez and Van Dijk comes back? He will just sit on the bench. But I don't agree with that. We had Lovren last season with Matip, Van Dijk and Gomez, and Lovren and Matip were an insurance policy. And this time we don't have Lovren and Matip is always injured. We would sign a centre-back anyway in the summer, so why not just bring it forward 6 months? Because Liverpool need a centre-back right now, that is crystal clear. Jurgen Klopp also continued, so now when everyone is thinking, now they have no chance, we played without three centre-halves, and yet nobody said to us, that's your excuse for not winning football games. No one said that, but it changed everything for us, playing with different centre-halves constantly. It changed it. It changed the protection of the game because the whole setup is different. Nobody is interested in that, no pundits, no journalists, no one says that. It is okay, we are Liverpool, we have to win football games. We know that is what we try all the time, but we deal with the situation as good as we can. If the world was in a completely normal place, and we have this situation, you could be sure we would try everything to do the right stuff now, but the world is not in a normal place. We are still in the middle of a pandemic, so that's not the best time we have ever had. I cannot go to the people and say, without that, we cannot win anything. Have to do what we have to do and make the best of it. That is what we have always done. It's not that nobody wants a new signing. The question is, if we can afford it, if we can do a new signing. And Jurgen Klopp also said, I cannot say definitely that we will not bring anyone in. It is not likely because of the situation in the world. We should not forget that the situation is a tough one for all the people, for all football clubs. I don't know some clubs with absolutely no financial problems, but this club always was and always will be, with these owners, very responsible with the things we do. So if the world would be in a normal place, everything would be fine. We won the league, we won the Champions League, the club is in the best possible situations, but then you have three senior centre-halves all injured. Is that a situation where usually we would do something in the transfer market? Yes, definitely, but we are not in that situation, so I don't know if something will happen or not. But what I said about it, you maybe could do something, but it would be kind of a short-term solution, and we don't have that short-term solution, but that's not right because it doesn't help really. Then we have to deal with the situation how we did it so far, have to get through this. It's not the best moment for the whole planet, so why should it be for a football club? And yes, that's, I think, very, very sensible words from Jurgen Klopp, but a Liverpool fan made actually a very, very good point. Liverpool compete in a league where several clubs have far deeper pockets than Liverpool. Manchester City, Chelsea, Manchester United, just to name three of them. In order to effectively compete against them, Liverpool needs to spend smarter. They need to get the maximum bang for their buck out of incoming transfers and extract the maximum value from outgoing transfers. This means they frequently have to pick their spot and not let the wants of the present override the bigger picture. So sometimes it will make the owners look cheap because they don't immediately buy themselves out of a momentary temporary crisis. If Liverpool haven't had the discipline necessary to stay focused on the bigger picture, we probably wouldn't have gotten Virgil van Dijk, as Liverpool would have pursued someone else when the initial attempts to secure his transfer failed. Incoming transfers are always exciting, but that can be severely limiting when they are not done right. Bring in a player for a huge fee and huge wages, and you might struggle to offload them if they don't work out. Liverpool aren't Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain or Man City, who can just eat up a 40-50 million pound loss every time they need to offload a player who hasn't made a grade. So that is a very good point. Liverpool have to be very smart, very sensible with their transfers. And also Fabrizio Romano made a very good point. And actually he actually declared that not a lot of players want to join Liverpool right now. This is what he said. A lot of players now don't want to join Liverpool and play 5, 6, 7 matches before the big players come back from injuries, and then the new signings are on the bench for 1 season or more. So at the moment Liverpool are still with the same idea. We can stay with this team. If we have an opportunity, okay. If we don't, we stay with this one. So what do you think? Do you think this is a good strategy or not? Melissa Reddy also did a brilliant piece in The Independent. I really highly recommend it. She made some very, very good points. Both Joao Matip and Gomez, while great and core to what has been achieved, cannot be relied upon for large periods of a season because they are injury prone. They constantly get injured. Klopp has said it is unlikely that Liverpool will find a solution to their defensive crisis during the transfer market due to the financial effects of the pandemic. Completely understandable that the club does not want to rush decisions or panic by this month, but Liverpool's situation dictates that the centre-back being brought in during this window should be able to slot straight into the starting lineup given the absence of training time to adjust to Klopp's demands and build chemistry. That is a hard box to tick before adding the criteria of ability, availability, affordability. Ben White, who has been admired for a while, would be incredibly hard to sign in this January transfer window. I think Brighton would ask for a ridiculous amount of money. Jurgen Klopp's and the club's thinking has been no move is better than a wrong move, especially if you can get the right one done in due course. On the financial front, it is instructive to note that Wolves accepted just shy of 10% of the guaranteed fee for Diogo Jota in the first 12 months, which was offset by Keanu Hoever's 13.5 million sale to Wolves. Thiago's deal was also similarly just a small fee up front, and the rest played through Thiago's contract. And this is where I think gets very interesting. Melissa Reddy said Liverpool will probably have to sign 2 good centre-backs this summer because 3 senior natural players for the position is not enough if none of them are bankers to last a full season, and it is better to have the headache of 5 fit centre-backs than none. While Liverpool's issues at the back have not harmed them in a solidity sense without the ball, it has degraded their offensive powers because the loss of Van Dijk's passing range to exploit space and bypass the opposition's press, or Matip and Gomez's ability to step out with the ball, has harmed Liverpool's build-up play. While Henderson and Fabinho are both accomplished midfielders with their absence felt in the centre of the park, neither have replicated these crucial elements to start attacks. Liverpool's inability to use possession as effectively as they used to has given them more work to do without it. Last month, starting with the Champions League draw at FC Midtjylland, Jurgen Klopp's men have recorded only 2 wins from 7 fixtures in all competitions. And yes, those 2 wins were huge. Tottenham last minute winner from Firmino and a massive 7-0 win against Crystal Palace. But the last 3 games, West Brom, Newcastle, Southampton, only 7 shots on target have been registered in total in those 3 games. Normally Liverpool have 7 shots on target in 1.5 games. Liverpool's risk in not signing a centre-back is evidently more than just a defensive problem. And that's, I think, a brilliant piece by Melissa Reddy. Highly recommend to read the full piece in the Independent newspaper. And thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.